Hello ladies and gentlemen, what's up, Porkchopper here, and today we are asking the important question, what lane should Rafe be played in? I did a video last Thursday being an ability guide for the new hero Rafe, so do please check that out after this video. I'm going to go over the 3 main positions you can play him in, suggesting the pros and cons for each one and understand different scenarios, so when the time comes to choose and play Rafe, you can see for yourself what benefits each position has for him. Rafe, as Epic have said themselves, is a very versatile hero. You can play many roles, and the roles we'll be covering in this video are support, mid lane and the off lane, so let's get started. The support role seems the most far-fetched at first, but he does have some strengths in it. His back it up can be considered as some sort of CC to help defend his carry from ganks and the potential from his ultimate. The order affinity gives him some standard support cards like Honor the Pure and Purity Sensor if needed. If you do play him in the support role, he would be more of a team support than a carry support, the complete opposite from a FaZe. FaZe can poke and help her carry get ahead early on and stay linked. Wraith can't do any of that, so he can't push an early game advantage with having no stuns etc. to help grab that off lane kill. Yes, he has his knock to poke, but with that being a skill shot and is purposely wanted to last hit minions, wasting it on a full HP offlaner isn't the best. It's more used to snipe kills, which is the last thing you want to do as a support. There really isn't much else to say here. The strengths are with his back it up and ultimate to support the team, just you need the right communication, and with the long cooldown of his ultimate, I just don't see it personally. Plus in the current meta, FaZe even with a slight nerf is still the best support, and with hard CC with Deca and Narbash offers, it's honestly hard to argue otherwise. Now let's get into one of the more normal roles, being the mid lane. His knock ability gives him plenty of range and safety to farm without much worry. Do be warned to stay within minion experience range though, or you miss out on that early game farm for the valuable hero levels. With his range to poke and farm, he would be a good pick against most aggressive mid laners such as Morrigas, who wants to get within range to spam her attacks, so he's very strong early game. Oh, and also the Fae would be another one with a Harvest Nettle refund on a hero hit, so he just loves to keep poking you with that. So those are the 2 biggest threats Rafe can overcome, but really any mid laner he can be a lot more passive against while still securing the vital CXP. His Who There's ability, which drops the Sonar Ward, is very nice and it cannot be destroyed, so you can get a good visual of the whole middle of the map. You can have up to 3 wards at once and even shows people in the shadow plane, but I explained that fully in my Rafe ability guide on Thursday. Its best use though is when river buffs spawn to see if the enemy jungler is there or not. With how much he works well with a team, it's important to be a more rotating mid laner than a static one. Help out that off laner or jungle if they need it. Your abilities can turn any fight in your advantage if you know how to. But a big but is that a mid laner needs to be able to do 1. Deal high amounts of damage, 2. Have some strong team fight presence which links with the AoE big damage ultimates most have, and finally 3. Have a good amount of CC crowd control. A mid laner needs a good mix of these to help in the mid to late game. Rafe lacks this a lot. His knock has worse scaling and upgrade damage than Howie's, Gadget and Gideon's poking abilities, and his back it up is the only teamfight ability he has. I mean, his ultimate can help with initiation, but that's more with a stacked team on voice comms. He is more of a utility caster with a lack of damage. Let's take this ensemble as we're about to have one of those hectic team fights where everything has kicked off. They are pushing Iron Hib while our Sevrock is ready to make the play for us to initiate in the fight. You can see what I try to do, dealing the damage and helping my team secure those kills, but I'm sure I could play it slightly differently and better, but there wasn't much more Rafe honestly could do here. Now think of the same moment, but if I was a Gideon, Howie, Bellica or Gadget, I would easily ult on everyone and use my CC abilities to slow, stun or knock enemies around to our advantage while still dealing high amounts of damage. Rafe simply does not have that presence in these team fights. Now the offlane is another role early on. He has a lot of benefits too. He can snipe the minion waves from safety and grab the gold buff also. His Sonar Ward can keep him safe and help his jungler gank the lane with even valuable knowledge on where the safe lane duo are. His back it up and ultimate can be great early on to capitalise on a gank you and your jungler or even mid laner have made. Being able to back them up from safety to finish the kills off can be vital early on, which can help the late game. While being a ranged hero too, he has a lot of benefits early on in the off lane. The only problem though is, which is sort of the same as the mid lane, is that it really doesn't have much wave clear, and unless you can keep killing that safe lane duo, they will take the off lane town without much threat. And at this point, off laner needs to be able to split plus well and also be involved in team fights when needed. Like I said, he can't really clear waves super fast like a Faye, Fan or Wukong, even a Momorikes, just to name a few. So instead he will have to set the lane and join the team for fights and skirmishes because he is a team hero. That can work in some compositions and matches, but again, another big but in some certain matches this can cause a lot of problems. An example I wanted to give is that where we had a Rafe offlane, Yin and Faye's duo, Faye mid lane and Chimera jungle. Most of both teams are in the middle lane, mid to late game trying to grab objectives or kills. These kind of games you need that split pusher to really punish them for that, and instead with Yin's cleave damage, she was the one split pushing when we needed the carry in fights, but because Rafe can't split push that well, it caused us a big headache as a team, which we didn't need, and we lost a good few early fights because of it. So where does that leave Rafe? It may sound like I have been super negative with him altogether, but I don't feel that way about him at all. I feel he is as valuable in the mid lane as he is in the offlane role, but the important thing to know is his strengths and weaknesses before picking him. He needs communication. Being in solo queue will weaken his plays a lot. Being on comms to activate his ult and attack a lane, or warning your team you're rewinding a hero back for them is so vital. That's the reason I love playing him as a team, but when a random plays him, it's so hard to really understand what's going on in their head. He is also a team hero, which doesn't have a lot of damage, so making the more standard queue games he won't be that useful. Learn what you have from this video and think if you're going to play mid lane, make sure the team has enough damage and initiation heroes to really help in those crazy team fights, or if you pick him in the off lane, that your team does have other options to split push if you need to in that fight or work around it depending how the game is going. He has a very unique kit which in the right hand can secure kills and poke enemies happily all day. Just understand his limits and restrictions and why they can't just affect your whole team in not just a positive way but a negative way too. So I hope this video has helped you more understand where he lies currently in the game and what you should think about when picking him in more in the mid lane and off lane, and I guess support, but I really don't understand why you would pick him there currently, and I'll see you all next time.